Oh, hi there. How you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. I'm Sean Butler. This is Bugsy Malone. And we're part of the Tottenham Walk series, bringing you episode 76, I think it is today. First and foremost, I apologise for my absence in the last few days from the channel. I've been feeling a little bit listless, a little bit sapped of energy, and kind of taking a step back. But I'm back. Bugsy's been imploring me to come back, so I'm back. We're going out for a walk right now. We're going to talk about Tottenham's performance first half and second half yesterday. I asked the horsies right here earlier on, I said, what did you make of Tottenham's first half performance yesterday? You know what their answer was? Couldn't have said it better myself. Horsies. It was rubbish. The first half was rubbish. I mean, look, overall, I think we deserved the win. Overall, I think we did. In fact, I'm sure we did. Was it 23 corners, 21 shots on goal? But why does it need to take us to shoot ourselves in the foot to go behind one goal or two goals to be able to start playing football? Why can't we just play football from the get-go? Is it by design? A lot of people say that they actually believe that Conte sets the team up to preserve energy in the first half so that we can go at them in the second half. But if that's the case, the benefits don't outweigh the costs. It's all well and good preserving energy as long as you can keep a solid back line. But when you've got players who make the mistakes that some of ours do. I mean, Davinson Sanchez yesterday. Bambi on ice is back. He was so bad. He was so bad. I mean, Eric Dyer came back in and looked like Cannavaro or Nesta compared to Sanchez. And Dyer's, on the back of two or three woeful performances himself. If you can't protect the back line whilst playing back foot football, then why play back foot football? If that is what the strategy is in the first half. But for whatever reason, the same 11 players, or near enough the same 11 players, can suddenly turn it on when we go behind. And that to me is a paradox that I'm going to get wet now. Damn it! It's a paradox that I don't like, I don't understand, and I can't make sense of. 1 second, guys. I mean, but let's be honest, Bournemouth weren't great, right? They took their two or three chances. They took two of them in the first half. And I always feel the need sometimes to remind people when I'm listening to their thoughts or reviews of the game that, going a goal behind or two goals behind, the dynamic of the game changes entirely. It allows Bournemouth or any other team to then be able to set up in a far more defensive, solid, rigid mindset, looking for something to protect. But we do that when we don't have anything to protect. And that's why I don't like the way we play football at the moment. And I know that when we are losing, we can come out and go after it against teams that are then sitting back and protecting. And so, if we're capable of doing it when we're losing, we should be capable of doing it when we're not losing. But I'd love to know what your thoughts are on whether you think it's a deliberate thing or whether it's just a confidence thing at the start of games, and that once we go behind, that the handbrake's taken off because there's nothing more to lose and we have to go and try and get it. I don't know. Bugs, we're going to go back. It's pouring with rain. Come on, Bugsy. But for me, look, I'm actually going to try and find the reasons to be positive on this one, because I do think we did batter them in the end. In terms of the possession, the second half was a completely different game. The introduction of Bentancur was obviously really effectual. But he came on after the first goal, after we got our first goal back. So again, the dynamic of the match shifted from them being comfortable and trying to protect to them being desperate to protect. And it allowed for us to have even more occupation of the middle areas and just be able to bombard, you know, somewhat weak players in the Bournemouth backline with enough attempts. You know, you throw enough mud at the wall, some of it's going to stick, right? And to me, I think that's kind of the outcome. 1 second. But what I would say is, you know, I think whilst I don't think Lucas Moura put in a particularly bad shift, I was saying this on the Irish Hotspur yesterday, I feel like there's a little bit of me, and I think Jack and Dave as well, that were disappointed that we didn't see Brian Hill come on, and so we're probably judging Lucas Moura a little bit more harshly than he probably deserved, because we didn't really want to see him versus Brian Hill. But on reflection, I think actually Lucas did have a fairly good shift. I think he did open things up on the right hand side, but it still doesn't inspire me or excite me as, you know, a great option to go to. I've read a lot of people going after Emerson Royale again this morning. I didn't think he was that bad. I thought he was trying to zip the ball in pretty aggressively towards Harry Kane. A bit too often, a bit too predictable. But generally, I thought he was okay. He wasn't that bad. 1 second, guys. You know, and I thought players like Sessegnon and Perisic, when they came on, I think they all were okay. Much better in the second half than they were in the first half. But you know, the average rating is going to all be sort of very mediocre. But once again, though, I feel like all I'm reading is the complaints and the poor write-ups of the players that we know are not really good enough. And I don't see enough criticism or accountability of the players that I think are good enough, the competent ones. Once again, Sonny, I thought, was absolutely shocking yesterday. You know, 23 corners. I know we ended up getting goals from 2 of them, but like, that's all you can say about Sonny, right? I think his in-game play was appalling. I thought Harry Kane was absolutely appalling again. Rubbish, just absolutely rubbish. And we come to expect more from your best players, you know? So I'm just as annoyed and worried and frustrated and concerned with the performances of our best players as I am with our worst. That being said, once again, goes without saying, January 3 or 4 players need to come in, major signings. And according to, I saw a tweet from Last Word on Spurs that I think we're referencing a major outlet. I forget, it might have been even just clickbait headlines like 24/7 Football Insider or something, but they were referencing that Antonio Conte isn't going to sign a new contract anytime soon, and that he might even wait until the summer to see whether or not he has the players that he thinks are necessary. You know, to me that's an issue, because it creates an ongoing level of uncertainty around not just his future but Harry Kane's future, and you know, all of the public noise in the press that will come from Harry Kane and Conte not signing. It's all going to be negative news for Tottenham fans, and that stuff does infect the mindset of the players, in my opinion. But look, what this tweet said was that the 3 major players that Conte wants that would be available in January, and that Paratici would be able to go and get done, major signings. He says he needs a versatile defender, a midfielder, creative midfielder, and a forward. Which, I'm all for the versatile defender. I'm guessing that would mean someone who can play on the right or in the centre, and maybe even across all 3 of the centre-back spots. When it comes to the midfielder, I'm guessing they're talking about a creative guy who can unlock the defence. And when it comes to a forward, I'm guessing they're just worried about the the vulnerability to injuries that we currently have in Dejan Kulusevski. Is he on the verge of becoming injury prone? Maybe. And what about Richarlison? We don't know how difficult his injury will be to recover from. And maybe Conte hasn't been that impressed with Richarlison. I know I haven't been, and so maybe he wants to go again in the forward position. But they didn't mention a right wing back. They didn't mention that, and that to me is interesting. It almost pours a little bit of cold water over the whole news item, because I understand not going after a left wing back, because we already have two somewhat competent left wing backs, and we've got Udogie coming in the summer, so that position you would imagine is done and dusted in terms of improving. But the right wing back spot, surely there has to be a level of interest. Or maybe it is as simple as Conte sees something in Emerson that the rest of us don't, and that Conte really likes him. He seems to love him. It doesn't make sense to me. But for me, centre-back is the priority. And after that, I would say a right wing-back is the priority, second priority, before we start moving up further up the pitch. Because I think if you fix those two positions, then the consequences of fixing and having more confidence in the centre-back and the right wing-back spot is that the players we already have further up the pitch, up the pitch, can stay further up the pitch and can pick those passes and deliver more quality in front of goal. We've already seen this season the emergence of Bentancur and Højbjerg as people that can generate assists and goals now, something we didn't really have last season. So for me, whilst we need improvements everywhere, if we had to be picky, and no doubt in January we will have to be picky, for me, centre back first, right wing back second, forward creative player whatever third, goalkeeper after that. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Listen, on to Marseille. I know this is a bit of a mishmashy kind of wishy-washy video today. I just really wanted to get something done for you and get back into the swing of things, and I'll get back to generating some better content ideas tomorrow. But Marseille coming up on Tuesday, massive game. I'll be talking about that tomorrow morning in the video. I love you all. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay fresh, and I will see you on the next one. Like, share and subscribe, guys, and as always, bye bye.